Hi guys, so today we have a 2020 election prediction between Beto O'Rourke, the congressman from El Paso, Texas, and Donald Trump, who currently resides in Washington, D.C. So this was a video suggestion. I know that these polls pretty much at this far out are pretty much meaningless at this point, but I have 3 polls done between O'Rourke and Trump, who are Emerson. I would consider probably the best polling company. The Public Policy Polling, who did both of these polls, both have quite a slight Democratic bias there. This one is in North Carolina, so O'Rourke losing to Trump in that state, and nationally we can see that Beto O'Rourke at 47% to Trump at 41%, and in the probably more reliable polling company Emerson, Trump at 47%, Beto O'Rourke at 53%. So we're going to go through a hypothetical 2020 general election scenario. Beto O'Rourke looks like he will run for the presidency, despite saying right before his Senate election took place, I will not be a candidate for president in 2020. You can just see how politicians change like that. So, Beto O'Rourke, we can see that he will win Washington, Oregon, California, Hawaii, Illinois, New Mexico. Being from Texas, I could see moving into the safe Democratic column. All the kind of usual Democratic states: Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, the District of Columbia, New York, and there seems to be a bit of a problem here with this one, just real quick. There we go. So that's, I don't know what happened there, but there was something weird. So let's just real quick go back. Okay, so Maine's 1st District moves into the O'Rourke column. That Maine at large would move into the toss-up column. Maine's 1st District moves into the Democratic columns. So 188 electoral votes for Beto O'Rourke. Now let's go through some of the Trump states: Alaska, Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, most of Nebraska except for that 2nd District, Kansas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Indiana. So 125 electoral votes for Donald Trump, 188 for Beto O'Rourke. Starting off, we can see that in the Maine 2nd District, we can make that a likely Democratic state. Clinton won it, no reason why O'Rourke would not win it as well. But then that 2nd District, again, Beto O'Rourke, part of that kind of Democratic establishment, not as entrenched in the establishment as other Democratic candidates like Cory Booker and Kamala Harris, Terry McAuliffe, Joe Biden, etc. But still, I would put him more in the establishment camp than in the progressive camp. He is a member of the New Democrat Coalition, which is quite a right-leaning coalition there. Even though he didn't take corporate PAC money in his race in Texas, he still took a lot of money from the oil and gas industry, and that could potentially be used against him in a 2020 Democratic primary, as well as in, not to the same extent, but as well as in a 2020 general election. So 190 electoral votes for Beto O'Rourke, 126 for President Trump. Where can Trump make up this margin? He can make it up in the South. Beto O'Rourke, yes, he can appeal to Latinos and Hispanics, but he doesn't have much of an outreach to the African American community in these states. And I could see, again, there was a poll that came out from a Democratic-leaning group that had O'Rourke behind in North Carolina. I could see that one moving into the leaning Republican column. Same thing with Georgia, similar demographics to North Carolina. And in Florida, we saw Democrats not performing the best in those 2018 midterm elections in a blue wave year, and I could see Trump winning the state of Florida. So 186 electoral votes for Donald Trump, 190 for Beto O'Rourke. Trump can leap into the lead with a big win in Texas, but embarrassing O'Rourke in his home state, just because Texas is still a red state, man. I mean, it's still a Republican state, and I think Beto O'Rourke would make it very close. But I can see that some of that O'Rourke energy has died down. He's gone from number 3 in the polls to a distant number 5-ish, and that proves that the energy has been going down for Beto O'Rourke, and Texas I could see narrowly moving into the Donald Trump column. So 224 for Donald Trump, 190 for Beto O'Rourke. Let's give O'Rourke some states now. So Colorado, being from the state of Texas, I could definitely see him winning the state of Colorado, Latino population. And same thing in the state of Nevada. I could see him also winning that state. I could actually see it moving into the likely column very narrowly, just barely getting over that 5% for the likely column. So Nevada and Colorado move into the likely Democratic column. O'Rourke is still behind Donald Trump, but he can win in the state of Virginia because of all the craziness that's going on in the Virginia Democratic Party right now, with the top 3 officials are all Democrats facing many scandals. I could see O'Rourke narrowly winning the state of Virginia just because of all the Democratic trends, Democratic wave in the midterms in Virginia. And I mean, sadly, I think it's probably going to, people will forget about those scandals, which I think is a sad thing. And Beto O'Rourke narrowly wins in Virginia. The state of New Hampshire, I could see narrowly going into the O'Rourke column. O'Rourke doesn't really have much appeal in New Hampshire, but Clinton won it and she didn't have much appeal there, so I could see O'Rourke narrowly winning that by a similar margin that Hillary Clinton did. So 222 for O'Rourke, 224 for Donald Trump. Where can Trump increase his lead narrowly? He can increase it in the Nebraska 2nd District. And the reason why I say this and I make this prediction for Nebraska 2nd District going to Trump is because the Democratic progressive in that seat failed to win. And Beto O'Rourke, I've already said he's not really a progressive, but people do kind of associate him with that progressive base, even though he's not a progressive. 222 for O'Rourke, 225 for Donald Trump. So now we have many swing states left to call. So firstly in Arizona, I'm going to make an upset pick in Arizona. I think O'Rourke can be the upset candidate and come from behind and take this state from Trump. Now the reason why I say this, it's very close to Texas. He did great with the young Latino population. A Democrat won here in the Senate election in the 2018 midterms. They picked up a House seat. I think Democrats are doing very well in Arizona, and I think against O'Rourke that would continue to be the case in the state of Arizona. Apologies for that. So Donald Trump, where can he kind of make some of this up? He can make it up in the heartland. Beto O'Rourke is not such a great candidate for appealing to the heartland. I could see the states of Iowa and Ohio both moving into the Trump column. But at the end of the day, I could see Minnesota moving into the Beto O'Rourke column. So Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania are the 3 remaining states. So we can see that in the recent polling collected 53 to 47, we can see that Beto O'Rourke is leading Trump nationally, and I could see all 3 of these states narrowly move into the Beto O'Rourke column, making him the next president of the United States with 289 electoral votes to Trump's 249. Beto O'Rourke flipping the states of Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. So that's it for today's video. Or just a quick side note, an interesting fun fact, Beto O'Rourke would become the first president to win the election without winning his home state, which being Texas. Thank you for watching this video. Comment down your suggestions below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.